Alright, so we're going to be doing a simulated repair here. It's 59 degrees today, 4/25/26. This is for Jackie Pollard. Before we get started, I do want to note the Hancock inspector removed a shingle, or attempted to remove a shingle here. You can see he did not take the headlap with him because there was so much damage being caused in trying to separate the tar strip on this one. You can see some of the creasing here, again tearing here, delamination, and some of these are still pretty well adhered. More tearing over here on what is now labeled as shingle 4. Shingle 5 was removed, but again just the exposure, and was taken for identification through the insurance company. We still haven't received the identification results, so we're going to be pulling a shingle of our own to get identified. But like I said, just worth noting, obviously, with the adjuster not being able to properly remove the shingle here. Not sure how well this is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot. So we did label out all the shingles, 1 through 8, anything surrounding. Here's our damaged shingle that's been identified by the insurance company. So we're just going to start by, let me start on the side that's loose. Start by trying to unseal, oh boy, the tar strip. And so what's happening now is the shingle is separating and tearing. It's not really releasing on that side, so we're going to start over here. See. So again, you can see here the flat bar has punctured through the shingle itself. And let me show you a little bit about what I was talking about here. You can see the shingles, the tar strips not wanting to release. We have some really heavy matting transfer keeping this shingle sealed down. I'm going to try to keep going here. I don't really need to get a close-up on that one. You can see that. So again, the tar strip, we'll try in the middle since both sides have failed thus far. Okay, yeah, so again, we've punctured through the shingle, not once, but multiple times. Again, you can see there's some pretty heavy matting transfer. I mean, the entire shingle section around where the tar strip is adhered is completely destroyed. We've got puncture marks through the top of the shingle that we're just trying to remove for identification. But we do need to get this one out, so I guess we'll just keep trying on the side that's ripped. And now I've completely torn through the shingle here. I don't really know where to go from this point. We can start by removing this little cap nail here. Let's see if we can separate the one above it. So typically for identification, the full shingle with the headlap, with the teeth, with the exposure would come out in one solid piece. So as I'm attempting to break the tar strip loose here, you can see it literally just fractured the shingle and it's coming off in pieces. So that's the reason why the insurance company wasn't able to pull a full shingle for identification. So obviously puts us in kind of a difficult spot. Try coming at it from the other side, and I'm just coming through the shingle again. So I mean, again, not even having fully removed one single shingle, let alone separating 2 tar strips so that we can get in here to properly remove the nails, which is what would be necessary for reinstallation. But I mean, at this point, we've got, you know, the delamination, we've got tearing, we've got broken pieces, we've got some more extreme tearing, more delamination, and then not only just on the top, on the exposure, but on the bottom here, we've got ridiculous mat transfer, probably some of the worst I've ever seen. I mean, these shingles are not wanting to separate. So, again, normally at this point, I would stop, just because of ethical reasons. I mean, like, this is not, this is not going well. But again, we need this one for identification, so I'm gonna have to continue to press on. I can see here the granules are coming off, right? I mean, look, it's gonna end up ripping again. Right over here. Okay. Making a little bit of progress here. Although I can see the granules are being knocked loose. Oh, that was the best this has gone yet. Fortunately, we still have pretty bad transfer. And this is just not pieces, so. I don't see a way to properly separate the shingle here. I mean, again, you can see anytime we attempt to really get into this tar strip here, it's not that I'm not able to separate it in some areas, but in most areas, it's ripping, it's tearing. I mean, it's just destroying the shingle itself. Shingle. And so here's what happened when the adjuster was attempting, or the inspector was attempting to remove a shingle. He got this far. This is what the insurance company took with them for identification. This is obviously not the full shingle and does not have all of the information. If I had to guess, I would say the results of the ITEL probably came back inconclusive. I don't know for sure. But again, this is the one the insurance company took. You can see we still have the teeth. We had some serious issues in separating the shingle. And, you know, there's some serious problems there. Let me see here, just so I can show now that we have the exposure. At least the shingle's been separated into a couple different pieces. But, I mean, look at this. We've got some heavy matting transfer. It's damaged the shingle below because of the sealant. I mean, this is felt paper. I can see all the way down into the felt paper, right? So now this top shingle here, shingle number 8, has been damaged. There's chunks and holes of it missing. This section here, we were unable to actually remove from the roof. Again, more sealant. We've got blow through on shingle 8, which we were hoping not to affect in any way, right? I mean, we've got holes riddled through. We get up to the next shingle. And again, we can see from the shingle that was taken by the insurance company, heavy material transfer all through, right? So we come over here. We saw that first piece that had ripped as I continued to try to separate the tar strip, which I failed to properly do. I mean, it's coming off in pieces. You can see the creasing here. I mean, the matting transfer again. There is no proper, safe way to separate this shingle without causing significant damage. It wouldn't matter what tool I used, which, by the way, the manufacturer recommends a flat bar so that I can properly work the nails out. But in this situation here, I mean, I don't think it would have mattered if I used a putty knife. We've got a relatively warm day. It is, you know, the sun's out. Like, this is just ridiculous. There's no way, and you expect me to do, you know, I don't remember exactly what was paid for, 25 shingles on this roof between multiple different slopes. I don't see a way that this can be properly done. I'm going to continue to try to separate this, but again, in good conscience, if we didn't need this shingle for our own identification because the results of this never came back due to the fact that the adjuster was unable to properly remove a full shingle, which is what's needed for identification, I would say we should have stopped a while ago. We're gonna start trying to get the nails out. I mean, again, most of this has already been blown through the head lap. Gonna have to do my best to separate this. Again, I mean, you can just see the granules now coming off. I'm making a bigger wound on the shingle. This is insane. I mean, Jesus. I don't even know how to even describe. I mean, it's chipping off in pieces just from attempting to separate the tar strip. Try to come at it from a different angle. There we go. All right, we finally have the upper shingle unsealed. I don't know if it's even wise to attempt at unsealing this. I'm gonna try to get the nails out, but I'm gonna have to guess where they are since I can't unseal the shingle in order to remove them. Like I said, typically in a repair, I would remove the sealant on this shingle as well, so that I was able to see where the nails that are holding the headlap in. This shingle is tied in up here, and I'm not really able to see where those nails are, and I don't want to try to separate this tar strip, because again, I mean, you can see what happened to the shingle in the same course, done by the Hancock inspector. And then you can see what's clearly happened to the shingle above that. Not to mention the one that's been removed, or at least partially removed. We couldn't get all of it, but I'm just gonna kind of guess at where the nails are. There we go. Holding on here, and I do think it's worth noting too. I mean, now I've got some of the nails up in my attempts to remove the headlap of the shingle that we need. but you can see how the shingle above it is just ripping, tearing. It's starting to separate, right? Just like the one below it did, just like the one that the adjuster had taken, or I'm sorry, the Hancock inspector had taken for the insurance company. Yeah, I'm not used to having this much guesswork when attempting to remove a shingle. Typically, it's pretty simple. Jeez. Look at all that. I was afraid this was gonna happen. We're gonna have to cut a bigger tarp so that we can properly tuck underneath this one now as well. Even though we were hoping not to affect this shingle. Alright, well, we almost got it off without damaging the shingle above it, but again, so you can see shingle above it, what was this one numbered? Number 2. So number 8's been pretty significantly damaged. Number 2's been torn to pieces. I mean, we've got granules falling off. If we look at the underside, we've got pieces of the previous shingle. All right, we've got some pretty significant material transfer. I mean, just ripped all along the shingle. And then, of course, you can see all the score marks from the many attempts to try to break that tar strip loose. This is one of the most sealed shingles I think I've probably ever come across. So again, now we've got exposed felt paper. At least we have our full shingle when we put our couple pieces together here. I know we're missing a piece here, but luckily there's one about the same size stuck on the back, so hopefully that'll be sufficient for a full shingle. And then we'll be sending this off to get identified, but let's see, I've got a nail stuck over here that I'm not really able to pull up without separating this tar strip. And you can see the headlap on this now is, I mean, we're getting dangerously close to having this completely removed as well. I really didn't want to have to damage this shingle at all, but I had to get that nail out so I could lay it flat. That way we can get a tarp underneath of it. I see it. Let me get in here. So we've got our full shingle as best we could. Right, there's our one shingle that was damaged. I mean, again, I just want to go through and kind of show. Normally my repair videos don't take 18 minutes, let alone a video just to remove a shingle for identification. But this one will probably creep up close to 20 just because of how long it took to separate. Look at the granules falling off. To separate the tar strip, the matting transfer, the chunks of shingle that are now missing on both portions of the actual shingle. Right, so again, the exposure on the shingle above, shingle number 2, was damaged. Right, we've got damage right here on shingle number 8. Shingle number 1 seemed to be unaffected. We already discussed 2 is in really rough shape. 3, a couple courses above, just from me trying to remove that one nail, because I did not want to attempt to separate this tar strip and run into the same issues that we already did on our second shingle and the first one, which was damaged, so it was not labeled. I can't really count any of the damage over here to shingle 4, simply because of the fact that it was already pretty damaged from the the Hancock inspector attempting to remove a shingle and only being able to get the exposure portion of it. And then I would say shingle number 6 appears to be undamaged as well. But in total, so just from us removing one for identification, mind you, if I was doing a repair and replacing this shingle, I would have to unseal this tar strip on shingle number 3 so that I could properly remove the nails. And I mean, again, in this situation, as you could see, if I was to properly do a repair for the one that was just removed, I would end up needing to replace shingle 2. I would have to replace shingle 3. And in this situation, shingle 8 on the bottom, because of the holes, the rips. I mean, nothing's gonna seal down properly over top of a shingle like this, right? And if I was to really attempt to remove this section as well, we'd be running right back into missing pieces. So just from removing, not even replacing, just removing, we still have 1, 2, 3 shingles that were damaged. And again, the previous removal for ITEL that the insurance company took, we had a similar count, right? Where we could see number 6 was damaged. Number 5 obviously wasn't even fully taken because they could not get it off. Number 4 was damaged. So, I mean, this is not going well. As you can see, we've got pieces of torn shingle laying all over the roof. I mean, this is just crumbling. There's not really a whole lot that could be done. If anybody has recommendations of a proper way to repair this roof without causing further damage, we would be more than willing to hear them. But in its current state, it's just not feasible. I mean, again, this is some of the worst material transfer I've ever seen. We were unable to properly remove even a full shingle, even half of the shingle. I mean, I don't know what else could really be said. And with there being damage to, I think, all four slopes, all 4 directional slopes, at least 3 of them that I'm aware of. Definitely the front, definitely the back. I know we had damage over here, and then we had damage over on that slope as well. So, yeah, I mean, this is not something that I would consider to be repairable. We would ask that this is reviewed for a full replacement with the amount of damage on a roof this size, as well as, you know, the fact that for us to repair this storm damage, it's just simply not possible. So the only way to properly restore this claim, this property, to its prior condition before the loss had occurred, seems to me to be a full replacement, unless there's some new tool or something that I'm not aware of. Please take that into consideration.